Hi, this is a little test that we've developed that's actually quite effective in showing how Citrizyme works in comparison to the top competition, at least in the United States. Citrizyme is an enzymatic based cleaner, therefore it breaks down blood and tissue and saliva. These are the three items that tend to clog up the evacuation system line. And in order to remove blood and tissue, you need an enzyme called protease, which breaks down proteins, blood, and tissue into its smallest form, which is amino acid. And then when we add water, we can easily remove this type of material from the evacuation line. You also have an issue with what is called ropey saliva, or long strands of saliva. This needs to be removed with amylase. Saliva being a starch, amylase will break down starches to its smallest form, which is carbohydrate. We add water and then we easily wash it out of the system. Now there are other material that you may find in the evacuation line would be prophy paste and fluoride from fluoride gel treatments or giving a patient a prophylactic treatment. Citrizyme also contains a surfactant, a type of soap that penetrates this material and loosens it and removes it from the evacuation line as well. Now the other types of cleaners try to use harsh chemicals, in most cases pH over 9, making them very caustic, and the idea is that they're going to chemically wash the material. Well, it may do that, but the problem is you have an evacuation line that is slowly becoming clogged with the proteins, the blood, the tissue, the saliva. This needs to be opened. We need to remove this material, not just wash it and mask the bad smell that you have of the rotting tissue and blood. So let's just show you this little test, and this will give you an idea how Citrizyme works in comparison to the others. And what I have here is just basic X-ray film. This brown material you see here is called silver salt, and it's attached to a clear plastic strip by glue, glue being protein. And if the product actually works, you'll see the glue will be, the protein, the glue, will be broken down and the silver salts will fall off, and therefore you'll have a clear plastic strip. So I'll show you how all of these work in comparison to Citrizyme. And remember, these guys, or these products, are trying to tell you in some cases that they disinfect, and that's almost impossible as the contact time is so short. When we put Citrizyme, let's say, into the vortex and we draw the material into the evacuation line, it takes about a minute for this material to be evacuated from the vortex, go through the lines, and then it's gone. There's not enough contact time to disinfect or sterilize. However, with Citrizyme, we leave behind these enzymes that continue to work and continue to break down all the material, the blood, the tissue, and the saliva. So let's take a look at our test. Here we have PureVac. I'm just going to add a little bit to this jar, and we'll add some warm water. And I'm going to take one of our protein strips, put it into the PureVac. We're going to try Vac Attack now. This is a powdered cleaner, more of a chlorine-based cleaner. And I'm adding much more than what the manufacturer recommends. We'll add a protein strip and some warm water. We'll do the same with Vacusol. We'll take a shot of Vacusol, again more than what the manufacturer would recommend. Warm water. Add our protein strip. And now for the Citrizyme, we'll add the warm water. And I'll take a packet of Citrizyme. And we'll add the Citrizyme. We'll give them all a little stir here. Make sure they're mixed, okay. Now one important thing also with Citrizyme, because it's an enzymatic, we can use it in the ultrasonic during the day as well and take that material at the end of the day through the evacuation system. Now this is important because If we're just using a disinfectant in an ultrasonic cleaner, we have many areas where blood or protein or saliva can hide. You have knurling on instruments, and then in your scissors or your hinged instruments, there's all kinds of places where these types of material can hide. If we put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, we have the cavitation or the movement of the ultrasonic cleaner, which will help remove material. But in conjunction with protease and amylase and Citrizyme, we're able to penetrate all these areas, therefore loosening the debris. It falls off into the ultrasonic unit, and we're then taking a very clean instrument and putting it into the autoclave or into a cold sterile. With these products, that blood or tissue may be there, and you may end up putting that instrument into the autoclave, and then you're baking on the blood, the tissue, the saliva. It may be disinfected, but it is a foreign body, and in some cases, if you were to introduce a foreign body from one person to the next, you may have an allergic reaction, not to mention you're going to have an instrument that looks tarnished. So let's take a look at these. These have been soaking the longest, longer than Citrizyme. And I can tell you that we run these tests all the time at conventions. We normally fill these in the morning and leave the strip in all day, 8 hours, 10 hours during the day, and you still do not get any protein removal from the strip. So let's take a look at PureVac. This is the leading selling product in the US, and you can see here, we'll put it up against the pad here so you can see that no protein has been removed. Therefore, we still have clogs in the evacuation line. Let's take a look at the Vac-Attack, which is a chlorine-based cleaner. And again, as we compare against the napkin here, you can see that none of the protein has been removed. Again, we still have clogs. We take a look at Vacusol, and same situation. Let me move this to get a little bit more clear so you can see we've removed none of the protein. So if what I'm saying is true, and the enzymes in Citrizyme have worked, we should see a clear plastic strip. And as you can see, as compared to the others, the proteins have been removed from the strip. The strip is completely clear. Let's lay them out with all the different ones so you can get an idea of which worked and which did not. And you can see by comparing all four that obviously the Citrizyme is much more effective, and it does it safely and naturally. This is a biodegradable product, pH of 7.4 to 7.7, so making it almost neutral, the same as water, as compared to the others which are very caustic chemicals. Thank you very much.